discreet and versatile. Strange nubs. I can't take those with me. They don't look... Locked, and there's no way to enter a code or anything. I know I'm not supposed to pull levers where I don't know what they do, but... Now I remember why I didn't want to do that anymore. I like my leisure suit much better. I'm not touching that. Pretty handy when you can just take one of these things off again. I wouldn't fit into that, hopefully. Why is it called a ball gag? I mean, it's not even funny. I like beavers. I can't take those with me. That seems to be some sort of size scale. I can't take the... Okay, what should I dial? That unlocked the safe. I'm curious to see what's in Swingle's file. Look at this pie. This must be the file Swingle was talking about. Ah, it's kind of sticky.
Only touch it with your fingertips. I don't want to even think about the diseases you could catch from that. Let me scan it for you instead. I'll put it all in my database so I can give you the information whenever you need it. Just don't hold me too close. Ew.
Okay.
There. I got it all.
What exactly is in the file?
Swingle has been very busy indeed. These are copies of historical documents from the crew that discovered the archipelago. Diary entries and letters, the captain's logbook, some pretty confused notes, and Swingle has also entered some notes of his own. The ship's crew actually entered this cavern of cosmic cognition that Swingle mentioned. To open it, they needed a keystone, which they found. At that point, the records become a little muddled. It seems they learned a lot about themselves, but for some of them, it wasn't very nice. What they learned led them to break the keystone into 4 pieces. Captain Muffington, Regibald Cockburn, Lady Gobbledick, and the Marquis de Carnard, they each kept 1 piece. They concealed the route to the cave so that no one would ever enter it again.
This sounds like a job for Larry Laffer. What happened to them?
They all died under mysterious circumstances.
Tell me about the captain.
Muffington first settled on one of the islands, which to this day bears his name. But whatever he learned about himself in that cave, one night, he couldn't take it anymore. He tried to sail the Unsatisfied out of the archipelago with a small crew, but huge waves smashed his ship against the rocks. One of them was the legendary Phallus Rock, which is still worshipped today as a symbol of fertility.
So his part of the keystone probably sank there with him.
Probably.
What do you know about Cockburn?
Regibald Cockburn started a family with Lady Gobbledick. Oh, that's interesting. His daughter later took the name Marley.
Wait, that's Bobby's name too. I should ask her about that. So Cockburn lived happily ever after?
He died of a broken hip from sex addiction.
Just what I said. Oh, what a life.
Were you listening to me?
You're making it sound like sex addiction is a bad thing.
Whatever. Anyway, he was buried on Muffington Island.
Probably with his keystone. What happened to Lady Gobbledick?
She mysteriously suffocated. Not much information is available about her, except that she lived with Cockburn. Here's another one of his diary entries. My beloved Lady Gobbledick's grave must never be found by anyone. The dark truth must never be revealed. Only I know the way to her grave. It begins on, the entry ends there. It appears the second page is missing.
I have to find that second page to get to Lady Gobbledick's grave and find out more about her keystone. What happened to the Marquis?
The Marquis couldn't cope with what he learned about himself in the cave. He threw himself into the Kahlua volcano.
Oops. That means there's no trace of his keystone and it may have melted along with him.
But you could go to the volcano and look for clues.
Okay, so I have 4 keystones to find. And of course to locate the Cavern of Cosmic Cognition itself. Is there any information in that file that points to where I can find it?
A number of things point towards Kofuku Island. Swingle has even entered some coordinates where he believes the cave might be. But even if you find the cave and all 4 parts of the keystone, you still have a problem.
I'm too sexy for my shirt?
No. You have to get Faith to go with you into that cave.
You mean I have to trick the dangerous armed cannibal lesbians to get an audience with their queen who has amnesia and wants to roast me?
Exactly.
As good as done.
And, Larry, I don't know if this is even a good idea. What those people learned about themselves in the cave back then, it drove some of them crazy. Who knows what could happen to Faith in that cave? Or to you. Cosmic knowledge, self-knowledge, endless pleasures. That cave could be dangerous, too.
We have no choice, Pi. Faith is confused and has memory loss. Maybe the cave will give her mind a nudge in the right direction. And if it somehow turns me into a sex-craved pervert at the same time, then...
Nothing will have changed.
Hey! I was going to say, then I'll just have to live with it.
Until you die of a broken hip or throw yourself into a volcano.
This is starting to make my head hurt, Pi.
Don't worry. I entered it all in your app.
What a blowhard. Not right at the moment. More in general.
You look like you want to explore my love cave again. Then again, you always look like that.
So that's a yes?
That's a no. Thanks. But I'm satisfied for the moment.
But I'm not.
Your problem.
Regibald Cockburn is your ancestor?
That's true. How did you find out about that?
He carries his brains in his pocket, sister.
Yeah, he does. Regibald was not exactly the climax of my family tree.
The stone downstairs in the lobby was his?
Yeah.
Larry, that must be one of the keystones.
Can I have the stone from the lobby? It's really pretty.
The only way I'd let it out of my hands is if I were to get another memento of Reginald Cockburn. Like maybe his legendary signet ring. It's supposed to have some truly extraordinary powers.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Reginald Cockburn?
There hasn't been that much written or recorded about him. He was deeply in love with Lady Gobbledick and led an uneventful life. I once tried to promote his alleged motto as a slogan for Kahlua, but the resonance wasn't there, so I gave it up.
What was it then?
If it moves, you can screw it.
Nice motto, but a bad slogan.
Exactly.
Where can I find the Cavern of Cosmic Cognition?
Nobody knows for sure. According to legend, somewhere on Gafuku Island. I used to drag tourists there to show them the remains of the advanced civilization, the stone heads. They weren't particularly impressed. That's why I don't bother anymore.
But if there are traces of an advanced civilization there...
I call it advanced civilization because that's all we have here. It looks to me like some people who couldn't tolerate the native mushrooms washed up here a long time ago and built strange things. And the founding fathers weren't here of their own free will either, but were shipwrecked here instead.
Somehow a lot of people have ended up in this archipelago that way.
There are still some of the guys who came here for the festival near the cave on Gafuku. I mean, why not? As long as they don't break anything.
From a purely commercial standpoint, that makes sense.
That's what I said. Of course, I make sure not too many people disappear. Nobody here wants any news of that to get out. Nobody.
I get it already. Did you know that there are female cannibals here?
Of course.
And that doesn't frighten you?
Of course. I mean, I make sure that they don't abduct any guests who are particularly well off. But say, if someone is clearly way behind on their payments.
But aren't tightwads usually tough?
I'm not eating them myself.
Well, you certainly made a meal out of me.
Of course, I make sure not too many people disappear. Nobody here wants any news of that to get out. Nobody.
I get it already. Where's there an island around here with a particularly dangerous reef?
If I tell you that, will you feel impelled to go there?
Maybe.
With your so-called raft? Then it's better I don't tell you or I'll have you on my conscience.
Is the volcano still active?
It's actually quite active. That's why nobody goes there. Of course, there are always a few crazy adventurers who see that as a tough challenge. But then, that's the lava's problem, not mine.
I'm leaving now, and maybe another woman will want to have sex with me.
If she doesn't have anything better to do.
Pulling on it won't help. How's the water?
Wet. You stupid or what? Stick your hand in if you want to know for sure.
I didn't mean to.
Don't care what you meant.
Have you been here at the hotel long?
Are you implying that I've been here since the 80s?
No, of course not.
I have, though. My second husband ripped off this stupid investor and took him for a cheap suite. And then I ripped him off. Now the suite is mine.
You sound pretty determined.
You could call it that. Maybe you do have some brains, kid.
And now you're living the good life here?
Nah, I'm looking for a new husband. Let's hope number 8 is better than number 7, and is packing more in his pants than number 6. How about you, kid? You already spoken for?
I'm already on my 4th marriage.
So was I at your age. Trust me, the 5th marriage is easier.
I'll remember that. How's the husband hunt going?
Kinda stalled. Had a candidate in mind. Then he went swimming one night and disappeared. Well, one of his feet washed up on the beach. Don't want to marry a foot.
Nice drink.
Straight alcohol. Only way I can tolerate this meaningless existence.
You mean the whole leisurely floating in a pool under the tropical sun thing?
Here's mud in your eye, kid.
Can I have that crocodile?
It brings back fond memories of my 3rd husband. Although, actually, he was an asshole, too. Take it.
I have to get going. Don't drown. I always wanted to have an inflatable crocodile in my pants. Then I'll just grab this energy drink. Hey, Shawnee! How's the bag packing going?
It's pretty hard when there aren't many people around.
Because they don't give you enough money?
Sort of. Even the guy in the lobby won't give me any of his tips.
That can be because he works for them.
He just stands around all the time, not working. Besides, he probably's just using them for drugs.
True enough, I guess. Do you have any tips on how I can bag pack too?
Oh, you're doing all right with that raggedy outfit of yours.
I beg your pardon? This is a wedding suit.
Your expression's good too. Just a little confused, hungry, and pleading.
Hey, I always look like this.
Then you should be able to manage a trip around the world.
Who are these people who give me money?
They're from all different walks of life. I just have to build an emotional connection to them so that they understand my spiritual journey. Some people have real problems with that. They're just not in touch with themselves.
Or they're stingy.
Or that. I came to this archipelago to thank one of my benefactors personally. He founded this new, totally hip cryptocurrency and opened a new headquarters with his employees here on an island.
Cryptocurrency?
I'm sure you've heard of it. Clickcoin? Don't ask me exactly how that works. I haven't been able to use it to pay for anything yet, but it's good to have a reserve in your wallet.
Wallet?
Anyway, they're headquartered on an island that's completely inaccessible. An island completely surrounded by reefs. A lot of ships have gone down there. Some of them are really old. They must have been wrecked centuries ago.
Larry, according to Sir Muffington's log, his ship, the Unsatisfied, sank off a storm-tossed island here. We should take a closer look at that island.
You're right about that. But Shawnee, why did they open their headquarters in a place like this?
For security reasons, they said. It's private there. It's unregulated offshore waters and all that.
What can you tell me about the island with the dangerous reefs and the waves? Like, for example, its name?
No idea. But the coordinates of the island are -20 and 3. And your ship will have to be especially well equipped to prevent it from being wrecked too.
All I have is a raft.
Then even more so. You should put bumpers on both ends of your raft, otherwise the waves will toss you around and smash you against the rocks.
That would be a bad thing. Wanna go with me?
No, I'll let fate decide. When the stars are right, the perfect wave will carry me there.
If that works.
I float through life like a feather on the wind.
See you later.
Okay, folks, it's time for a laugh. Thank you. You're a wonderful audience. Just too bad you're not here. Except for you. in the back. What's your name?
Larry? Larry Laffer?
You sure look like it, too. It's one dynamite joke after another today. Today's the premiere of my new stage show, featuring exclusive new material never before heard on any stage in the world.
Wow!
An orc, a troll, and a Mandalorian walk into a bar. The Mandalorian says, "I roll a 7." The orc drops dead in its tracks. Says the Mandalorian, "Hey, I didn't shoot first." Okay. That one's kinda so-so. Hey, I'm trying to work here. What do you want?
You ever get too old to be a comedian?
Honestly, I've been asking myself that for a while now. This rock star life in the spotlight, it's pretty exhausting.
I thought you were a comedian, not a rock star.
Hey, that's disrespectful.
Have you ever heard your own jokes?
True enough, I guess.
I find your jokes...
Yes?
killer.
Thanks. A man of the world with refined taste.
Somehow no one has ever called me that before.
Then I'm the only one who understands you.
You know, that kind of worries me now. Your jokes are kind of... odd.
I made them all up myself.
You did?
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes I take advice from my team.
You have a team?
Stop the interrogation already. Yeah, I take what I can get. Actually, I copied it all from a joke book. And I don't even have that anymore. I lost it. I had it with me at that crazy festival. Maybe somebody there switched it. Instead, now I got this book about role-playing games. But they're kinda strange. I mean, who wouldn't want to dress up as a sexy nurse or something in a role-playing game, but a mage? A healer? Or a dwarf? Well, I guess I'll just have to make the best of it.
Can I have this book on role-playing games?
The only thing I'd swap it for would be a decent joke book. Preferably the one I know. If you can get me that, you can have this Dungeon Master crap.
Well, I'll let you get back to clowning around.
Hey, comedy is a serious business.
I already have one, and that'll do. I'll take one.
A necromancer pops up in front of a busty blonde. She says, "Is that a high character value in your pants? Or are you just happy to see me?"
That's the information he collected, and he drew penises all around the edges. The inflatable guy's valve fits right in the hole. Be gone with you. Locked, but I can hear someone in there breathing pretty heavily.
Larry, I pulled something else from Swingle's file for you.
And?
The Marquis de Carnard, who tried to kill the others from the unsatisfied, there's conflicting information. Either he went crazy and tried to throw himself into the volcano with the keystone, or Cockburn tried to kill him there. Either way, the Marquis disappeared with his stones somewhere on or inside the volcano.
Okay, maybe we can find something. Practical. Hello. Nice outfit.
Who cares?
What?
As long as there's nothing hanging in the way. Try climbing when things are dangling off you everywhere.
Finally, a good reason for scanty clothing. I'm Larry. Larry Laffer.
And I'm Nora.
Do you climb professionally?
You could say that. I just turned my hobby into my profession.
Mountain climber?
Biologist.
What does that have to do with climbing?
How the hell else am I supposed to get to the critters I'm investigating? Some of them are really fast and agile. Besides, I like the athletic challenge.
Good for the abs.
Unfortunately, I often miss my grip and fall.
Oh. What's your favorite animal?
Cats.
What? Just cats? I would have expected some totally exotic animal.
I don't like to take work home with me.
Good point. I'd like to get up to the top of that volcano.
Why would you want to go up there?
I'm an amateur volcanologist.
I think it's hot. I'd love to help you get up there, but I can't do it without my climbing gear.
There's supposed to be a dead Marquis here somewhere. Did you see one?
No, I'm only interested in pod geckos.
In what?
The archipelago is home to many rare species, but one is truly unique, and it can only survive on the edges of a volcano. The long-tailed pod gecko. If only I could observe one. Unfortunately, some of my climbing equipment is missing. My sister Dora must have taken it by mistake.
Where can I find your sister then?
Oh, I have no idea where the hell she is now. She usually doesn't know herself. She's always totally overbooked. She said something about looking for a certain plant. What was it called again? Something with V.
Vamp strap ironer.
No, that wasn't it. Wait a minute. I remember now. Vagina dentata.
I think I'll just bite my tongue. Nice name for a plant.
I'm not a plant person myself. It's an orchid that only grows in one place in the archipelago. It's extremely rare and has been growing here for centuries. But like I said, I don't know anything about that stuff.
Larry, there's a passage in Swingle's file that mentions that plant. Apparently, the Marquis was looking for this plant because it's believed to have sexual magical powers.
If the Marquis was there, maybe there's a clue to the keystone. Do you know any more precisely where it is?
The location is in the jungle on Gafuku Island, and I have detailed directions on how to get there. We have to go to a very specific clearing.
Then let's get a move on.
And when you get there, bring my climbing gear, will you please? And give my love to Dora.
I have to run.
Hey,
What's up?
do you have any idea what happened to all that junk I collected?
Junk? What junk?
The junk that was hanging on that hook.
The raft-shaped junk?
The junk-shaped junk.
I, recycled it for you. Isn't that great? Anything for the planet. So how's that bird doing now?
I had to scrub it for hours to get the oil out of his feathers. But I did it.
Great news!
I set him free in the jungle, even in a spot where there was a female close by. But as soon as he saw it, he panicked and ran in the opposite direction.
That's weird. What a strange bird. Another animal in distress somewhere?
Not at the moment. Would you help me if the alarm went off somewhere?
Sorry, I have a lot of animals to take care of myself.
That's definitely a good reason.
Once you're done at Kahlua, where will you go from here?
I don't know yet. I go where I'm needed. There are still enough people in this world who go through life without thinking about others. Always throwing things away, tipping them over, breaking them, stealing them.
Sometimes there's just no other way.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. See you later. Aesthetically, this may not be the best shock protection, but as long as it works. It's already perfectly built. The crocodile provides perfect protection for one side of my raft.